Hi, fourth graders. Today we are on lesson M3L24, and we are going to be focusing on multiples today. We've heard a lot about factors, and now we're going to switch into multiples. So when you're done with your table of contents, go ahead and flip to your note page. And you can see our objective says, I can determine if a whole number is a multiple of another number. Now, we have some key vocabulary words we want to look at so that we understand the difference between our factors and multiples. So remember, we've talked a lot about factors. It is a number that can multiply into a product. So remember, we worked on our factor rainbows. We wrote our number sentences to show the factors that, for example, 3 and 2 are factors of 6. Now here's the thing I want you to remember about factors. Factors of a number are few. Few, I should spell it correctly. F-E-W. They are few. Okay. Now a multiple, here's how we find a multiple of a number. When we skip count by a whole number, the numbers we say are multiples. So for example, if I am going to skip count by 2's, I would say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Those are all multiples. Now here's the trick about multiples. There are many multiples. You could skip count on and on and on. And so multiples have many. Factors are few. So we're going to practice listing some multiples of some common numbers. So we're going to start with 2 like I just had. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. All of those are multiples. That means I've multiplied something by 2 to get these numbers. A multiple of the number is that I've multiplied by that number. That's why I'm skip counting. So if I list multiples of 6, it would sound like this. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, and 60. Now I know some of you are awesome at listing these multiples. You sing the song, you know those math facts, and fourth graders, that is what's going to help you as we continue on in multiplication, is knowing those multiples of different numbers. So let's try 8 because it's going to be a little bit trickier. As we get into those higher numbers, friends, those are the ones we don't know off the top of our head. And so we need to work on practicing these multiples. So I'm going to start with 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, and 80. Now, I stopped here when I got to 10 on all of those. That means I multiplied that number by 10. But guess what, friends? Multiples go on and on. Remember, we said multiples are many. Now, we might come across a question where I want to know, why is 24 a multiple of 4? And so there are 3 ways that I can answer that question. I can say when we count by 4's, we can get to 24, right? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Oh, that is a multiple of 4. I also know that 4 times 6 equals 24. I know that basic fact, and that shows me that 24 is that multiple. And I know that 4 is a factor of 24. Okay? 4 times 6 equals 24. So really, when I look at these two words, factors and multiples, they go together, my friends. So now I want to ask you the question, is 24 a multiple of 5? And so we're going to use these 3 questions to help answer that question. So can I skip count by 5s? Because remember, that's one strategy. So let's try. Let's go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Well, wait a minute. I'm looking for 24. Did I get 24 in my list? No. So I'm going to write, no, I couldn't skip count by 5s. Okay, so that's one strategy. Now, my next question is there a remainder when I divide 24 by 5? So here's a strategy. I'm going to divide. Now, I want to know, can I get how many groups of 5 into 24? I'm going to extend this line a little bit. And I can fit 4 because I know that 4 times 5 equals 20. This is what I'm going to subtract. I've passed those out. Now I have 4 left. But I can't use those 4, and that 4 becomes my remainder. So, was there a remainder when I divided? Yes. If there's a remainder, it's not a multiple, friends. The last question I ask is 5 a factor of 24? So this is where I want to use my factor rainbow. So 1 times 24. And I'm going to put my rainbow there from 1 to 24. 2 times 12 equals 24. I know that 3 times 8 equals 24. And 4 times 6 equals 24. Nowhere in my factor rainbow did I have 5. So no, 5 is not a factor of 24. So now I'm going to come back to my original question. Is 24 a multiple of 5? And my answer is no. So I could use any one of those strategies to check that answer. So I want you to flip to your second page, and you're going to need 3 things for me. You're going to need a red, a blue, and a green utensil. It can be a crown, colored pencil, or marker. Pause the video when you need to so you can gather those. And you're back in 3, 2, 1. So I have this hundreds chart here, my friends. And we're going to color code some things. And I'm going to first start with my multiples of 2 in red. So remember, when I am finding multiples, it's just like skip counting. And so I'm going to take my red marker and I'm going to say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm going to keep going. We have learned also, friends, as I am color coding my red multiples of 2, that any multiple of 2 has to be even. So as you go through this chart, you're going to notice that all of these multiples of 2 are even numbers. I'm going all the way through. Notice, 4th graders, I am not coloring the whole box. I am marking my even numbers, my multiples of 2 with that red. Okay, so all of those numbers are multiples of 2. Remember, it goes on and on, so I don't just stop at 100. But for now, that's what we're going to do. Now grab your green marker, okay? And we're going to check out multiples of 3. So now I'm going to skip count my 3's, but be careful because what some of you may be tempted to do, because I noticed with my 2's, I went all the way down those rows. So be careful, 4th graders, because we cannot simply just come down here where there are 3's. Let's start and work together. I'm going to box my 3, and then I know 6, 9. So there's my first row. Now I'm not just going to come down here now and fill in because those are not multiples of 3. I would skip count and get to 12 and 15, 18, and 21. Oh, I'm noticing a pattern. Now, if I'm getting stuck, I still know I go to 24. I know I can go 1, 2, 3, Remember, that's how I can skip count if I'm getting stuck on my boxes. So I got to 30, 33, 36, 39. Oh, I'm noticing a pattern. 1, 2, 3, 42, 45, 1, 2, 3, 48, 1, 2, 3, 51. Oh, friends, I see the pattern that is taking place. 1, 2, 3, 57, and 60. Oh, what is happening with my green boxes? They are ending up in a diagonal line, right? Because as I'm going, I am counting to my third box. These are my multiples of 3. So remember, I cautioned you that we couldn't just go down the line. It's not as simple as it ending in a 3. So those numbers all are multiples of 3. That means I can do 3 times something equals 66. That means 3 times something equals 57. Now you might have thought, looking at that, no way. But 4th graders, 57 is a multiple of 3. Last marker you're going to grab is your blue marker. And with our blue, we are finding multiples of 5. And remember, maybe you've heard this trick. Oops, I think I want to circle my 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Keep going, friends. Any multiple of 5 has to end in a 5 or a 0. And so this time, we could just go right down the row. Now look, I've noticed some numbers can be multiples of more than just one thing. Take a look at 30. Take a look at 30 with me. 30 has all 3 colors. That means 30 can be a multiple of 2, it's a multiple of 3, and it's a multiple of 5. That means I can make my factor rainbow with those numbers. And if I want to actually make my factor rainbow, I could go 1 and 30. 2 times 15, 3 times 10, and 5 times 6. All of these are factors of the multiple 30. So remember, factors are few, multiples are many. Very nice job today, friends. Good luck on your exit ticket.